Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to talk about few things regarding my experience moving from US to Canada. In particular, I'm going to cover about 10 to 12 things that you should keep in mind or consider when you are moving from United States to Canada. So if you are one of those people who are waiting for your green card while in the United States on some non-immigrant visa, and if you are considering Canada as an option, this video will help you. So if this topic interests you, stay until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration related videos for US and Canada. I would also like to mention that I am not an immigration lawyer. If you have specific immigration needs, you should hire a competent immigration attorney. And as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. And let's get started. So several years back, I lived in the United States and there was a time when I had to decide about moving to Canada. So while I was in the United States, I had my PR application approved for several years. At that time, I did not seriously consider moving to Canada. My PR application was approved for almost 3 years. So I had done the landing, but then after that, you also have certain amount of time during which you need to move to Canada. Otherwise, you risk losing your permanent residence card. So I was very close to my time limit before which I would have lost my permanent residence in Canada. So although I had a job in US, I still made an attempt to get a job in Canada, and I eventually did get a job in Canada, and that's why I made a decision to move. But it was a very close call because I was very close to running out of time on my PR to move to Canada. So there are certain things that I came across from my experience and I'm going to share those with you. So this will apply for anybody who is stuck on H-1B or any other non-immigrant visa, or you may also be in other situations where you just want to move to Canada, or you are an immigrant from other country and did not successfully get your immigration in US and you want to go to Canada. So if you are in any of these categories, these points will still apply to you. So the first thing you want to make sure is you have a job in Canada. Canada is very similar to US in the sense that you have almost similar amount of expenses. You'll have to pay for your rent or your mortgage. You'll have to pay for your groceries, your other household items, your utility bills, your telephone bills, your internet bill, and many other bills, as you know. So without having a job, it would be very difficult to live just on your savings. They will run out quickly. So it's very important to have a job before you go to Canada. So in my situation, I found a job, I interviewed for them, I made a visit to Canada to see and meet the people who I will be working with, and then made a decision to move to Canada. So it was a smooth move. In other situations, your company might allow you to work from Canada remotely. So that is a good option as well. But I would highly recommend going to Canada with a job than without a job. So that's point number one. Now you may ask me, is it difficult to find a job from outside of Canada? And the answer is yes, it is very difficult. There are a couple of reasons. The first point is Canadian employers are hesitant to hire somebody from outside of the country, especially if they don't have a visa. If you can demonstrate that you have a permanent residence and you are willing to move, then your chances of getting a job from outside of Canada significantly increase. And another thing is, if you are applying from United States, it's much more easier than applying from anywhere else in the world. So in my case, I had no problem finding a job, actually even a better job than I had in the US. Another point is, it's best to have your PR or open work permit before you move to Canada. Obviously, this ties to point number one, that you need a job, and to do a job you need a PR or a visa. So that is implied, but it is very important to have permanent residence or an open work permit before you go to Canada. And if you have a PR or an open work permit, it is much easier to convince a Canadian employer to hire you. Now, once you decide to move, think about where you want to live in Canada. Canada is a very large country. You may want to decide before you go where you want to live. Now, most of it will be dependent on where your job is, but if you have a choice to work from home, then you may be able to decide where you want to live. There are some factors like climate and job market. Some people may like to live in big cities like Toronto, Vancouver. Others may like rural communities. So think about where you want to live and find out about those places. Another point is, if you have a car, you may be able to take it with you to Canada. Now depending on if it's paid off or not, there will be different kind of documentation that you will need. But I would highly recommend that you pay off the car if you decide to take it to Canada. Other option is you can sell it and then buy another one in Canada, but in this you will lose a lot of money in the transaction because you will lose the money selling car here and buy a new car there at a higher price. So if you have an option to take your car with you, I would recommend that. Now, what about home? If you are renting in the US, then the decision is easy. Just break the lease or complete the lease before going. Make sure you pay off all the debts and all the outstanding lease and rent before moving. Otherwise, the creditors will be on your back and your US credit history may take a hit. If you own a house, you might want to sell it. Unless you are in a place where the rental market is very good, then you might want to just rent it out. But when you rent, you also want to think about the tax obligations, because if you are earning income in US, you will have to pay taxes and file taxes. So I would say if you are okay with paying taxes and filing taxes, then rent it out. Otherwise, just sell it before leaving. Now, what about your bank accounts and retirement savings? It depends. If you are moving to Canada permanently, you may want to check the exchange rate and make a decision if you want to close your checkings and savings account. It's not necessary, but if you need the money in Canada, you may want to just withdraw it and open a bank account in Canada. For your retirement savings, it's a different story. So if you have a 401k or Roth IRA or those sort of things, you may want to leave it as it is, because you will take a big hit withdrawing the money due to the penalty and you will lose another chunk of money in the transaction. So I would highly recommend leaving your retirement savings accounts intact in the US. You can open new accounts in Canada. When you reach the retirement age, then you can withdraw from the US accounts. Another thing to remember is Canadian dollar is not at par with the US dollar. At the current rate, it's about 76 cents US dollars means 1 Canadian dollar. So if you think about it, you will only need $76 to translate it into $100 in Canada. So it will seem like you'll have more money when you transfer from US to Canada. Now, another important point is the salary. When people move from US to Canada, they don't often think about these aspects. Canada is a very different economy. Their population is about 1/10 that of the United States, and proportionately their job market is also 1/10 of that of the United States. So the number of jobs in Canada are less. There is a huge competition, and if you don't already have a job before moving, you might find it very difficult to get it over there. If you are lucky, you may find it within few weeks. Otherwise, it may also take you few months. Also about salaries. Salaries are in general lesser in Canada for the same job compared to the United States. But again, this is something you will need to think about. You'll be earning in Canada and spending in Canada. So it shouldn't really matter unless you start comparing the salaries one to one. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about taxes. In general, income tax in Canada is higher compared to the United States. The reason is there are some other benefits that they provide to Canadians, such as universal healthcare is covered by the government of the province. So it may seem like you have a free healthcare in Canada, but it comes out of your taxes. The other tax component is provincial sales tax. So different provinces have different percentage of sales tax. Where I used to live in Alberta, there was zero sales tax. So when I purchased some things, there would be no tax on top of the purchase amount. But it's not the same story everywhere. If you are in Ontario or Quebec or British Columbia, there is a higher sales tax. So you'll be paying more for your general groceries and household items compared to Alberta. So that is another factor that you might want to think about before moving. Now let's talk about universal healthcare. Canada is famous for universal healthcare. What it means is the government covers for your basic health insurance. Obviously, as I said, it is paid through your taxes. But to give you an example, for the several years I was in Canada, I never had any medical expenses. All the doctor visits, primary care physician visits, hospital visits are covered through your provincial health plan. What is not covered is elective surgeries and things like that. So if you anticipate that you will need some elective surgeries or then you might want to get some supplemental health insurance. And that is something that is provided by your employer as well. But general health insurance is covered. Another point is the health insurance is provided at a provincial level. So you need to establish your residence in a province to be able to get it. Now let's talk about bank accounts and credit cards. Banks in Canada are very well run. In general, they have stricter guidelines as compared to the United States. For example, when I went to Canada, my US credit history was no worth. I applied for a bank account and I had to make a significant deposit in order to get a credit card. Even though I lived in US for about 10 years, my US credit history was not considered in Canada. So I was given a secure credit card, which means I had a collateral with the amount of deposit I had in the bank as a credit limit on my credit card. As compared to this, when I first moved to US, they gave me a credit card on day one of arrival when I opened a bank account, which was incredible. That's not going to happen in Canada. So you'll have to establish Canadian credit history, and for that you'll need to get a secured credit card with a deposit in the bank. Once you have that secured credit card, you can use it for a few months and then bank will consider giving you an actual credit card which is not tied to your securities. So basically you'll need to create the new credit history in Canada. Other few things are, in general, the cost of living in Canada is higher compared to the United States. For example, the gas you fill at the gas station in your vehicle is a little bit expensive in Canada compared to the United States. The flight tickets are very expensive, even for domestic flights within Canada as compared to the United States. And you will be paying more for your food, groceries and living, such as rent. Although the standard of living is comparable to the United States, these are the things that you might want to think about before moving to Canada. So these were the things from my personal experience. I hope you make an informed decision and don't have those misconceptions in mind when you make a move to Canada. So I hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll come up with a new topic in the next one, and until then, have a nice day. See you in the next one.